I missed out on this, how I missed this news. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to just quit this channel, give it away, destroy it, burn it. I have no idea how I missed this.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so let me tell you guys a little bit about Victor Wembanyama. You know enough. There's nothing to say. He's an absolute stud. He's going to be a monster, blah, blah, blah. You heard it 5 million times, and you'll hear it 5 million more times on this channel. But this is an article that I came across from January 17th, and I have no idea how I missed this. Now, this is slightly misleading, but then at the same time, I absolutely agree with this. It says Victor Wembanyama appears to double down on his praise of Spurs culture. Now, if we scroll down here and we see exactly what they're talking about, it's actually a retweet that he did of your boy Austin Rivers, in which Austin Rivers was talking about, basketball and how a lot of teams nowadays, or a lot of players nowadays, they go for the highlights and they don't play that fundamental style of basketball. And if you're wondering what this says, obviously being French, it says it's real. So he's just agreeing with this. So Nicolas Batum, hopefully I said it right. I always say his name wrong, but I think I said it right. Batum posted this. So let's go ahead and watch this and see what Austin Rivers had to say about low-key Spurs culture. Not really, though. Hold on. Turn it down a little bit. Can't hear you, my boy.
Even to like the little thing.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this.
Things in basketball are forgotten now, and they're not appreciated. And it's like a trickle effect, even to like the analytics of numbers and stuff. Like certain guys don't get paid what they value in basketball, what kids think are cool. I'm gonna try to make this as sweet as possible, because this really does bother me. I talk about this all the time. When I played in high school, you only got a mixtape if you were like a top tier guy. Back then, like you had to put in work, like consistent work, build a name for yourself to get a mixtape. And it was like an honor to have a Baller's Life mixtape. It was an honor to have a Hoop mixtape. We didn't play to have one though. I didn't go into a game doing something to be on Hoop mixtape. I went into the game to win and just be myself. And Hoop mixtape and them were there following me. I didn't ask Hoop mixtape to come follow me. I didn't pay Hoop mixtape $1. I didn't pay Baller's Life $1. They just followed me because I was that guy. They followed Brad Beal because he was that guy. They followed this guy because he was that guy. That's how it was. The landscape has changed now. Parents are paying these people to come to games. Everyone gets a mixtape. Everyone looks at the camera now and taps on their head when they dunk on someone, and it's all highlight after highlight after highlight. And now only kids watch highlights. They don't watch the actual basketball game, the purity of the game. Making a hockey pass, which means making the right pass. Even though you're not going to get an assist, you're driving to make a play so someone else can make the play to get an assist. Diving on the floor, talking on defense, playing defense at all. Shooting good shots, making the game easy, being efficient with basketball, and scoring off 1 or 2 dribbles rather than 15 dribbles. This whole thing.
That's Spurs.
This all, and I only named like 12. There's 50 of them. Has been forgotten about in basketball, and you're seeing it with some of these guys that come in the NBA. And I can name you names, but I'm not going to. That come into the NBA and have all the talent in the world. But like they need to be taught basketball, because like this is what basketball is now. Like highlight culture has absolutely, it has killed the game of basketball.
Ooh, that's loud. Okay, so what are my thoughts about this? Well, I agree with most of it. So Austin Rivers, the one thing, all right, listen, everything he said is very accurate, okay? I guess the only thing that rubs me slightly the wrong way is him complaining about highlight culture, because to be honest, like most people, you scroll on Twitter, you scroll on Instagram, you scroll on TikTok, and you see the highlights of certain games. You see the posters. Like people still think like Shaedon Sharpe is just like killing teams this season. Like, oh my God, he's amazing. And it's like, no, it's his dunks. It's the same thing with Jonathan Simmons. Like, you guys know I really like Jonathan Simmons, okay? And I liked him when he was on the team, but a lot of people that are like begging for Jonathan Simmons to come back, it's like, guys, you're thinking about the dunks, you're thinking about the highlights. But I don't think that that's like a new thing. I mean, it's always been a thing, right? Like you have ESPN Sports Center Top 10, like it's always been about the highlights. That's always what's fun. You think about Michael Jordan. Does anybody go back and watch full-on Michael Jordan games? No, but you can find millions of views of the shot. You can find so many different moments, and that's what's fun. That's what people remember. So highlight culture has always been a thing. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but then at the same time, I just don't think it's that big a deal. Even him bringing up like how parents pay for guys to come, hoop his life or whatnot, ball his life, that is, to record their kids and make a mixtape. And he's like, they can just pay for it now. It's like, well, that's kind of like every industry ever, right? Like that's like all the time. Is it annoying? Yes. But I think, me personally, at the end of the day, I think that it's going to come down to how good you actually are, whether or not you make it in the NBA, and it's going to always come down to that. So it just sounds a little old heady, a little bit. I just made up that, but yeah, like kind of like an old head a little bit. But that's not what we're talking about, right? We're wondering about Victor Wembanyama. So he said it's real, and I think that he's addressing the entire argument, I'm sure. And a big chunk of this, he did talk about how guys now don't play fundamental basketball. It's 15 dribbles. They don't learn 1-2 dribble and pass. As you guys know, the San Antonio Spurs, they had a 3 dribble rule back in 2014 when we won the championship. That's what they did. You can't take more than 3 dribbles before you have to pass the ball up. Or is it 2 dribbles? It might be a 2 dribble rule, actually. But yeah, you just can't. You got to pass the ball, and they became very efficient with that, and with all the different cultures and whatnot. So Victor Wembanyama, there's been quite a few reports out saying that Victor Wembanyama would fit in really well with the Spurs, and I completely agree. He has a high basketball IQ. He understands the game of basketball. He has direct connections to the San Antonio Spurs when we're talking about like Tony Parker and stuff like that. It makes complete sense for him to land with the Spurs. Now, it is completely up to the odds, okay, the basketball gods at this point, and the only thing that we can do at this point is just keep trying to lose, and so we can at least be the second worst in the league, and we'll see what happens there. But overall, man, I mean, I do believe that he would like to play for the Spurs. That's another thing too. There's been people coming out that's already said, that's from his camp, that has said, or at least people that have spoken to his camp that said, hey, if they could say it, they would say that they want him to play for the San Antonio Spurs. So this is just more evidence of that. He is, at heart, he is a Spur. He will fit in he'll fit in anywhere, but he will fit in so well with the Spurs. I think he'll appreciate the culture of teaching real basketball, and that will be even more of an excuse for Pop to just ride it out, man. Just keep on coaching. But yeah, so just wanted to bring this to your attention. Really great video by Austin Rivers. While I don't agree with all of it, especially when it comes to like highlight culture is ruining this and da. I don't necessarily believe that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, people see highlights and they think a certain thing, but I don't know. I feel like that's always been a thing. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later. You want to support the channel as always, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a patron and YouTube member, only $2 per month. Thanks guys, and bye.